as Mr. Shiva mentioned, you are primarily responsible for the profitability of the organization. I am thankful to you. I am sure the present sales team is one of the best for our group, and they will bring quicker results for the organization. My best wishes to the birthday babies, Mr. Yogi, who has been doing an excellent job. Also Mr. Mageshwar, whom I picked him up as a student in London, and he has been doing a wonderful job for Kerry for many years. And many returns of the day. May God bless you with health and peace. And I hope you have been enjoying your stay in this resort, and it has been built over a period of last 10 years, and it has been growing very well, particularly in Chennai and South India, and all my people are doing a wonderful job. If there are any inconveniences, please let us know, or any suggestions, because you have to think it is your in-house resort. If there is anything, please let us know, so there is an opportunity for us to make amendments. As you all know, the last couple of years has been very important for our Indev group. And I was not willing basically to dilute the shares to Kerry. But then, after a lot of discussions with my wife and Shiva and my close friends here, I decided to dilute in order to become global freight forwarder. Because because of the liberalization, globalization, and world as one potential market, it is important that we should act locally and think globally. The only opportunity for us is to tie up with such big companies to emerge as global freight forwarder or global logistics operator with the international practices and procedures. And now, you should all understand, Indev has been pioneer in many developments in this industry. Way back 1984, when the first private CFS was started, I was the one with my team approached Delhi, got the permission for the CFSs for the movement of import containers from the port. Previously, it was all done inside the port. And I was the second one, private. That was the time in India. There are only 10 CFSs and ICDs. And of course, now you have more than 250 CFSs and ICD, both in the private and the public sector. And again, when the question of AFS come, about 7 years back, we formed the SOP, we got into the EPA procedures and fought with the government several times, including the Aviation Ministry, and finally, about a couple of months back, we got the full permission to operate as an AFS operator in ICD. And as Tata beautifully says that in life you have to have ups and downs, only then you will be able to keep going well. And he further adds, even the straight line in your ECG, that means you have no life. What is required is the eventful development of this company. I have gone through several impediments, bottlenecks, frustrations, disappointments from many quarters. But still, I always have the gut feeling that one who is determined and moves towards the goal, cannot fail. I have been always managing the misunderstanding in a better format. And so, this AFS is a landmark development in our group. And with that, I should appreciate Selvaraj and his team, including Manigantan. In the last 3-4 years, so many times I have to push him, and I have been traveling. And finally, even the projects. Now, nowhere in India, you can handle the projects, customs clearances, everything in an ICD, including the breakful format. Now, ultimately, day before yesterday, our Chief Commissioner has permitted, also the only ICD first ever permitted to have 24/7 operation. And the third important thing which I would like to share, of course, a lot of people, including Deepesh and others, they have been developing a lot of this EDA and other procedural aspects for the AEO status. I should congratulate ECCT. About 3 years back, in India was the first infrastructure industry to have got AEO status, Authorized Economic Operator. It involves a lot of inspection and approvals. It is much better than your ISO or any other certification. And now the movement is much stronger and aggressive. Even a couple of weeks before, the member customs, the secretary, everybody was down here. We had an important conference, and in that they mentioned increasingly all the exporters and importers and all their logistics providers will have to get the AEO status. In this connection, I am proud to inform you that Indev is the first company in India to have been selected for AEO status for all the verticals. When I say all the verticals, some people got for CFS, some people got for CHA and so on. Because Indev has got a strong workforce and proper systems in place, we have been selected for CHA, then ICD CFS, and also international freight. Which means the moment you seal your invoices as AEO status company, the onus is on you, the responsibility is more, and of course you have a great accountability. Which means you act as a customs officer, you act as a security officer, your cargo need not be inspected, and all the bank guarantees, whatever you give to the governmental agencies will be waived. Like that, we have several concessional aspects. The moment we get the AEO status. So it is going to be any time. It's almost finalized in Delhi. My good friend, the Joint Commissioner, informed me that any moment we are likely to get this important permission, important status. And we have to be proud about it. And when you go to the clients, you have to mention this, that we have got the AEO status. Because once you get the AEO status, if the importers or exporters or the manufacturers are also having the AEO status, when it's going to other countries like USA, Korea and other countries, the cargo will not be inspected. It will go to the warehouse directly. Because you are holding all the responsibility with you. This has to be rightly understood. Now, coming to the point. The Kerry collaboration has to lead us to the positive development. Not only that, Indev, as Shekhar mentioned, as GT mentioned, Indev plus Kerry plus Apex, Apex, together we are forming a formidable team. I always say that exchanging the core competency areas is going to be the success and order of the day. All are not able to have the capacity levels, but different people are having different skills. That is what called core competencies. When we are able to combine our core competency levels, we could probably achieve the operational efficiency level, and thereby we emerge as one of the best logistics forwarders in India. And so this combination is an excellent combination wherein you cover China and USA. China for Kerry, India for India, and of course Apex for USA. So these are, because as you know very well, the major imports, more than 70%, are coming from USA or from China. And India is also becoming a strong developing country with having the highest GDP levels. And with the GST coming in, and water bill being passed, and land acquisition bill has been amended, probably this infrastructure industry, the logistics sector, will grow much more faster. And it is estimated our industry will have 15 to 20% of the growth. But then, because this is a sales meet, I was just thinking about a small story. A manager was conducting a meeting, and they have the company produced a special product meant for married women. And he was asking questions to the sales people, how to reach the married people in order to buy this particular product. Many sales people were giving different suggestions. And finally one person stood up and said, "Sir, we will make the list of products and we will enclose it in a cover and mark the cover as private and confidential. Also we will put a little bit of perfume on the cover, but the cover shall be addressed to the husbands." And the cover reached almost all the households. And you know, you are all very well know our women are very inquisitive. And so all the women, married women, when they saw the cover for the husband addressed, private confidential, that an element of perfume was there, they opened up and saw the list of products, the cargo reached the women. Why I am telling this, you will have to understand, this is the way salespeople have to approach our customer, which means we need to be innovative. First of all, we have to understand the requirements of our client. More than anything, we need to satisfy his requirements. In economics, we always study the consumer surplus. What is consumer surplus? When you buy an apple for 1 rupee, after eating you feel, I could have paid 3 rupees. So when a customer, when you go and do the marketing, when you do the service, he has to feel that he has got a consumer surplus. This is how marketing has to be done, sales has to be done. So please always think different, innovatively, and be creative. Otherwise you will be just like a regular salesperson. You should be able to convert even the most difficult client. That's very, very important. So I hope you will understand this concept and do it accordingly. And then, nowadays when you do the sales, there is also credit and risk elements involved. And there was a little adult story I was just going through. Husband was taking bath, and when the wife finished her bath, wrapping up the towel, and when she came down, when she was coming out, the doorbell was ringing, and she came running down and opened the door. Mr. Bob, the neighbor, was standing. And she asked him, "What do you want?" He said, "If you could little bit let your towel go, I would pay you $800. And she thought, after all, let go, it doesn't matter. They did, and he paid that $800 to her. And then she went upstairs, and husband came out of the bathroom, asked, "Who is this?" She said, "Our neighbor Bob." "Okay, did he tell you that he owes me $800? Oh my God, she felt that fellow has returned only what he borrowed from her husband. You know, the moral of the story is that if the critical information pertaining to the credit and the risk is not shared, probably I would say the avoidable exposure can be avoided. So what we need in the sales team, all of you will have to have a real interactions in such a way that you people should be able to share the information. We were talking about cross-marketing, all the verticals will have to do the marketing. Yes, from the beginning I have been telling the only success of this company could be, or could be different from others, is that we have the maximum number of salespeople, because every vertical has got salespeople. As Mr. Akash was telling, you have to take an entry into a company through some vertical, and once you give them the good service and competitive rates, they will automatically come back to you for other verticals. So like that, the verticals will have to also share the information about the risk element and also the credit element. Suppose some CHS, some big client has not paid and he is storing the cargo somewhere in a CFS. If you could exchange the proper information, you can always hold the cargo as a bailee and collect the money. This is what I'm telling you. You should have appropriate credit and risk management, and that is the important role of a salespeople. Please, you will have to understand, not only being innovative, being different, and you have to be conscious of what you are selling and how well you are exposing the company for the credit and the risk. This point you have to carry it. And thirdly, when sometimes what happens, we always try some methods to come up in life, isn't it? Come what may, that I have to come up, and then I have to ensure I have to be the best salesperson. Once a turkey was chatting with the bull. One of my friends sent the story, so I have to tell that. And when they were chatting, as the turkey was telling, "I need to claim this tree and go on top, which I have been trying, but for that I need energy." Then the bull said, "I have certain droppings," that is nothing but dung, cow dung, like bull dung. The droppings, probably you eat something, you get the energy because it contains a lot of nutritions. And then turkey took something, was able to get to the first branch, and then after some time turkey felt, probably I eat more, I get more nutrients so that I can claim more. So took more, went to the second branch, and then took more again. After 2 days, went up to the top of the tree. And when the turkey went on top of the tree, the turkey was seen by a farmer and shot down. Just because you eat bullshit, gone on to the top, it is very difficult to stay. What I'm trying to tell you is that in marketing, I always see people trying different tricks. Trying to bring in business, this, that, talking so much, but ultimately at the end of the day, nothing comes in. Or comes in, a waste of time. That is what I always say, ability for any person will take you on top, but only the character will make you to remain at on top. Which means, if want to have to survive, to be the best salesperson, believe in your ability, at the same time, your character. When I mean character, the professional character, the way in which you think, the way in which you put forth, the way in which you behave, the way in which you take your team along with you is the character. You should be able to appreciate your colleagues. Sometimes I find the lower level salesperson may be very efficient, but the team manager doesn't allow him to come on top because he gets threatened. One who is believing in his ability need not get threatened about his own positions, because you have to believe in your character. What is the character? The character of appreciation. Some people, I always see that they hold everything with them. They don't teach. They don't come out, because they always think if they come out, if the lower level staff learn this, then it will be a threat for them. Please forget about it. This is what I mean. You need a character to stay on top. My dear friends, I want to tell you, if at all, in the last 32 years, Indev has grown because of the highest quality of the developing people around me. I should feel proud of, okay, when I develop 10 people, about 3 people, they don't come up to my mark or they don't behave well. That doesn't mean I don't have to encourage other people. The more we encourage their talents, the company will have the positive growth, which I have personally experienced in my life. The examples are Mr. Elumalai, Selvaraj, even Mr. Balaji, Shekhar, Satya, so many people are here. I have seen them coming to me with small background, little background, knowledge-wise, experience-wise. But then they were all willing to learn. They were all willing to go behind. And they were all willing to correct their mistakes. That's more important. The moment you understand yourself, apologize for the right thing, and correct your mistakes, probably you emerge as a positive personality. Many of us refuse to accept what we have done and continue to do that. That is the reason why we do not grow. I think, my dear friends, Indev has got a culture to develop talented people around, and that has to continue. And that's why I always say, the vertical heads and others, you should never leave skillful and talented people from our company at any cost. You have to retain them because they are very important for our multiple growth. This is what even the vertical head managers have to understand, particularly the salespeople. When you are not getting some information or anything, don't get frustrated. You have to go down and make yourself available, create accessibility. You will see that things are coming to your hands. And finally, we have now Dubai office, Malaysian office, and also Singapore office. Warren is there. And we have got a new head, Mr. Warren, with a team. He has joined us in Dubai. He started doing extremely well, particularly in USCC and also Freight. And he will start corresponding with you all. And of course, Manoj, specifically, we are transferring to, because one of my good friends is becoming the chief of one of the important ports. So we are getting a lot of opportunities. We have also taken in a free trade zone in Port Gillen, 60,000 square foot, to start operating our warehousing activities. So we have a lot of opportunities. These offices, particularly Mr. Manoj corresponds to you, please give your cooperation so that we could see how well we could develop this Southeast region. It is not clashing in terms of interest with Kerry. It is part of it. At the same time, there are not people in Kerry to develop our business. I thought our people can sit in these places which are also emerging, also having good business to India, to develop further business. So I request you to help them out. And of course, I have to end with appropriate story for the organization to depict the culture. A owner or a manager wants to create a successor. So one day he called all the talented people in the organization and he gave them one particular test. Of course, what is the test is that he gave them all of them seeds. I said, take back home, grow this seed and make it a plant. After 2 months you have to come back. Let me see who has got the plant grown better. Probably he will become or she will become my successor. All of them went back. It was not a big challenge. And everyone in their house started growing this plant. And for one particular wrong, it was not growing. And he's trying to put water and more fertilizer. Nothing is happening. It is not even coming out. But he never left his energy. He continued to try. And after 2 months, when it came, nothing came up. But then he said he got frustrated. So all the 4 or 5 people who have been given this test came back to the office and they found all the other fellows' plants were taller and bigger. And he felt very bad. How could it be possible? Then the owner or the manager came on and said, oh my God, so many people have grown the plant, and then I had told you who is growing the taller plants will become the successor. And this fellow was very sad. And I'm going to choose the person. And he chose the person. In his pot, nothing has grown, empty. All were surprised. And the owner beautifully said, all of you, my dear friends, wanted to impress me. You have grown the plant. But I tell you one thing, whatever I have given you is the boiled seed. The boiled seed will never grow. And this gentleman, he has put that seed. It was not growing, but he never lost his energy. He continued to try, but he was honest and transparent. In this organization, what I want from everybody, like Mr. Ram, who clearly tried only whatever he had, and then came out with the truth. You may be a wonderful salesperson, highly talented, but then if your integrity level is not to the expected level, organization will suffer. So you need to be transparent and honest in your activity. That is why Ram became the successor of the organization. So please, my dear friends, with this story, I want once again all of you to understand about Indev and its growth path. It was not easy to build this organization. I've told many times, my wife is also here, and with an amount of 20,000 with the 5 people in a smaller place, struggling for more than 10 years in various bikes, every day covering 180 to 200 kilometers, not even visiting my house a few days, sleeping in the harbor, and then understanding this concept and creating the diversifications over a period of time, even though there was nobody to help me, including the banks, because I was not having the background. But still, with God's grace and because of people like you, with the kind of ideas came up, and unfortunately from the beginning, only I was able to associate myself with the right kind of people. And that is the reason why the organization, even though had certain amount of ups and downs, still growing compared to other companies. And this is what we have to do it in future, because we have a lot of plan. Even when we conducted the futsal, there were a lot of challenges, but still we finished it. And it gave us a lot of mileage. Even recently when I met the directors of the Anchor Switch, he would just ask me, what is Kerry Indev? Because so much came out in TV, so much came out in the newspapers about Kerry Indev. We got a very good mileage thanks to my wife and his team. Why I'm telling you this, that we are now creating the brand image. Because I have been always telling in all the conferences, why India is not able to develop, it is because we have not created our own brands. We are only having Louis Vuittons, you have Zara, everything. Name a brand of Indian origin which is very famous in the world. The moment we create our own Indian brands internationally accepted, that is the day India has done the right marketing. And my dear friends, salespeople here, unless you do the right branding for Kerry Indev, we will not be go for IPO. We have already kept 2018 as our benchmark for listing our company. And as Mr. Balaji said, quickly we have to reach more than 3,000 crores turnover, so that I want to tell you, we will be the highest listed IPO company in India in a couple of years. And for this, and all will be rewarded, the right people will be rewarded with the ESOP, which we have discussed with the Kerry management. The loyal people, efficient people, and honest people of this organization will be rewarded with the long-term benefits of ESOP, which I have promised many times it will be done, because for me, to share and to live is my concept, which I have been doing with me, my friends and my relatives, which I would like to do with you also. That is the way probably I can leave some legacy in this world. And this is what I want. This is what my parents have taught me. And so we will have our last mile cargo delivery. And recently I had a large discussions with the shipping company, including BTL, for putting up our 4 ships in a couple of years for our coastal shipping, because after the GST, the entire logistics scenario will change, including ship movements in the coastal area. The local logistics movements will increase, and we will be able to have an edge over with all the corporate clients. Anyway, with all this, I thank GT for joining us, and Balaji, Akash and their team for their wonderful performance and year-on-year growth. And when a couple of years, we were not doing very well in freight, many people raised doubts, including our financial accountant that time. And I said, I have faith in the team, not in the business. When you have the right team, it may take 2 years or 3 years, but you are sure about the results. And that is what the freight vertical has done it. And of course, with the coming of Mr. Selvam and his team, we got into this free trade zone, and they have been developing very well. Also, the supply chain management, creating warehouses all over India is our next option, and cold storage is all over India. And all these developments are in the pipeline. And as salespeople, as we have been mentioning, recently also we had a C&A meeting. I was telling them, we can offer this rate because Kerry Indev is the only company having all the services under one roof. It is not that I am undercoating. Because we are not subcontracting, and we are eliminating the middleman. Probably we are able to give the best rate. Doesn't mean that we are undercoating. So this is the ability and the strength Kerry Indev has got it. And as various verticals, we are also in the process of buying out an NBOC company. A lot of plans are there for this year. That is why Mr. Shiva, though he had a glorious auditing career and he was earning a lot of money from our company as a professional field, but still he had a faith that probably he can get more in India, and I'm sure it will be done. And he's here for making all the strategies for acquisitions and so on. And this will, because in the next 2 years we have got a lot of agenda, we have to grow quickly with our mergers and acquisitions. And as salespeople, you have a lot of role to play. All the best. Go back, keep all this in your mind, and ensure that as Indev, from the beginning, we have a clean record in India in all respects. Let us maintain that. We will go in the right path and the right direction in a positive. Always, when you have a positive thoughts, you will have positive action everywhere. Thank you very much.